Greetings from New York. Hi, I made it here safely. My neck is still relatively in one piece. For the blog today, I'm going to do something which I don't normally do, which is sort of almost retract a statement. I'm not one to sort of not admit when I feel like I've sort of said something wrong or done someone a misservice or misjustice. So the other day I sort of had a bit of a rant about Norwegian Airlines and the fact that they had nothing really set up for people that didn't want to be in a wheelchair but were disabled. They sure proved me wrong. I love being proved wrong, so this is awesome. Thoroughly impressed with what they actually offered me, and I know that some of those people, the cynic amongst you, all of you probably, am myself, will be thinking, you know, they saw the blog or someone showed it to them or someone told them they had to do it. I believe that of a few of them, and a few of the situations that happened I believe were probably because I made a bit of a stink on YouTube. I think some of them were just genuinely good interactions, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the experience that I had yesterday. So first off, I was contacted by someone on their customer service team, I think his name is Ben, who was very, very polite and very sweet. Since I just had a bit of a rant on YouTube, he was very polite and he said, "We totally agree, and that's why we have something in place called Meet and Assist, or MAAS sometimes." And I asked him whether other airlines offer this, or whether it's just a Norwegian thing, and he did some research for me and said that he thinks perhaps Virgin and some of the others do as well, that I should contact them separately, so at least I know what I'm asking for now. And I thought, okay, I'll give Meet and Assist a go, it sounds interesting. At least I get to have a chat with someone if the worst comes to the worst. So I arrived at the airport, very helpful man on the check-in desk, very polite, very helpful, very chirpy, kept calling me love, which was very sweet. I don't mind that, I'm not one of these people that doesn't like being called love. And I said that I had Meet and Assist booked, and he saw it on my notes, and he went to grab someone. And I assumed I'd just get some sort of airport staff person, which was absolutely fine. I would take whatever I could get to help me get through that situation. And the supervisor from the desk took me herself, bless her. And she was a fantastic woman called Charlotte. I wrote her name down because I didn't want to forget it, and it actually changed it by autocorrect to Sharky in my phone, so we'll refer to her as Sharky from now on. So Charlotte, or Sharky, basically walked me herself through the entire process all the way through to the gate. So she took me through security. We got fast tracked through security. Bless her, she got held up longer than I did because she had all these kind of like lanyards and jewellery and hair grips and stuff on. She wasn't really ready for going through security, so she took longer. She had to go through the full body scan thing. I didn't. I was feeling quite smug at this point. And she walked me in a really interesting way, in the fact that she just walked beside me or in front of me and just asked where I needed her to be, so I could follow her feet and knew where I needed to go. She didn't mollycoddle me, she didn't, you know, give me more than I needed. She asked exactly what I needed and was really, really sweet and friendly and chatty about it as well. So we got through security in record time, I think. And then when we went through things like, you know, passport checks and stuff like that, you know, anything that we had to go through to kind of check documentation, she was there with me ready to kind of make sure I had the right stuff out. When we went through security, my stuff got searched, as per usual, it always does. And she was able to kind of look for my stuff for me to make sure that it was there. Took me round to kind of speak to the guy and said, look, this is Emma, and they were incredibly friendly and helpful as well, and apologised for holding me up. We then went through into the bit with the shops, and she said, we've got about 25 minutes until the gate opens. She said, I'm going to know what gate it is before the gate opens, but I'm sure you want some shopping and stuff. And I said, well, yeah, I could do with going to Boots. I need a drink and some kind of plug adapters and stuff because I've lost mine. She took me shopping in Boots, bless her. She held my bag for me. She grabbed stuff for me. She like found me different versions of ibuprofen and like said which ones did I want. Someone at one point actually thought she was a personal shopper in Boots and started asking her questions because she was being so helpful for me. But she stayed with me in the queue, she helped me get my money out if I needed it. She was just incredibly helpful, but like not, again, mollycoddling, just like having a friend there, which is what I wanted, just someone to kind of help muck in when I needed it. So having done a little bit of a shop in Boots, which was great fun, she said, well look, I know what the gate is, we can go there early, we can get you kind of a good spot sat down. So we went to the gate, she walked me there and told me when there was like walking escalator thingies, you know, the walking walkway, moving walkway things. She told me when they were coming up and so I didn't trip, and we chatted all along the route, which was nice. And then we got to the gate and there was no security staff there or anything, but obviously with her being staff we could go through, so she went in and sat me down. Then when the staff started coming through, they were really chatty and really friendly, and she took my passport from me and went and got me all checked in on the flight and everything. So that was all great, I didn't even have to move. And then she'd done her bit and she handed me over to her colleague Denise, who was actually working then on that gate. So thank you, Charlotte, you awesomed my day yesterday. You were an incredible person and you did it with style and panache in your high heels. Sorry for making you walk so far. So then I was handed over to Denise, who was equally lovely, bless her, and she put me in a great spot right by the door to go through, and I was the first person boarded onto the plane. So I felt like a bit of a rock star, because she came over and she said, "Emma, we can take you through now," and I was allowed on the plane just as they were finishing sort of tidying it up and sorting it ready for the flight. She gave me her mobile number so that I could, she was going to be up the other end checking people on. While I was sitting there waiting for the flight, she said, "If you need anything, just give me a call, because it's a long way to walk." So she gave me her mobile number, which was lovely, very sweet of her. So having been safely passed on to the airline itself crew, you know, for the actual journey, I thought, well, it's probably limited help I'm going to get from now on, but I was passed on to a lovely girl whose name I didn't catch sadly, but she was a blonde girl, very friendly and very helpful. And she just kept checking in on me throughout the flight, so whenever she was kind of coming past the trolley she'd check, when she took her break she came to check if I was okay. And actually that was quite serendipitous, because at the time she came to kind of check me when she was on her break, I was getting a bit fidgety. So she took me through to the galley at the back and let me sit in the staff chair and stretch my legs out, and I chatted to the staff there for a little bit, which was really nice. They were a really nice group. And it kind of stopped me from getting fidgety because the seats were a bit close together, to be honest, and the girl next to me was a little bit larger and was a bit squashed, so but they were really helpful. They said if I needed anything, you know, I could get them, and I didn't feel like I was a burden at all. So, you know, obviously I'm thoroughly impressed with the Norwegian service, because that to me is above and beyond what I asked for. It was what I was hoping for, but I never thought I'd get it. So well done, Norwegian, seriously, well done guys, awesome, and really naturally done. Not staged, not kind of, we're doing this because we have to, just very naturally done, and very, lots of human beings involved with their own personalities and their own way of doing things, so thank you for that. Just by way of sort of contrast, and I'm by no means having a go here, but it kind of showed the difference in how people can treat you. I then came out the American side of the flight and waited for my meet and assist, and the woman had wandered off. So I was waiting there, and there's a wheelchair man. He said, "Well, I can take you." And I was like, "I don't really want the wheelchair." And he looked at me like, "You don't want the wheelchair?" As if I was crazy. And the woman came and I explained to her what I needed her to do, which was essentially walk in front of me so I could follow her feet and just tell me where we needed to go. And she insisted on linking me, which meant I couldn't see where she was, and I felt like a child, and I couldn't really know what I was doing. And as we were walking and talking, she, like, every time I like moved my foot or tried to do anything, she thought I was going to fall, so she freaked out and went to grab me, which was, and made this like really kind of weird, like, "Oh God," you know, kind of noise. And I was like, I'm crossing my feet, or I'm walking, or I'm like shifting my weight. Seriously, I'm not that wobbly. You know, I just needed a little bit of help. I'd already explained to her what I needed her to do, and it wasn't catch me, that's for sure. And then we got through to the end bit, and she said, "Oh, I'm assuming you have someone waiting in arrivals for you." And I said, No, I'm just getting a taxi." And she went, "Oh, I'm very sorry for you." And I was like, "Well, I'm not. I think I'll be alright getting a taxi, you know, I can just get a taxi from here, or I can get an Uber or something." And she was like, "Why is no one meeting you? Do you not know anyone out here?" And I was like, "I do, but I'm not going to wait on them to come and get me. It's not fair. I'm not seeing them for that. You know, I'm coming to see them for their friendship, not for their lifts." So she made me feel really kind of patronised, and like I couldn't do it. I felt like I couldn't do it again. And then she got me into a taxi, and it was almost like she wanted to come with me to make sure I got to my hotel okay, which is hilarious. But she was very sweet, and I know she meant well, but it was just that mollycoddling thing again, and it showed me how well Norwegian did it to not do that, but to actually give me the service that I needed. So I got in my taxi, got to my hotel, here now, Gonna have a bit of an extra sleep again today, I think, because my neck's incredibly painful from yesterday. 8 hours sitting on a flight in one position is a bit uncomfortable, so I need a bit of a rest today. So I'm going to get some food and then probably head back to bed for a bit. But yeah, thank you, Norwegian. Aced it. Absolutely bloody aced it. And I'm proud to say that I'm wrong on this occasion. And I'd like to be wrong again in the future if any other companies would like to prove me wrong. Bye for now.